Sonny Barger, like we had talked about, was essentially the face of the Hells Angels for a long time, back to the 60s.
Right.
But at one point, he made a 911 call.
Right.
Over what?
Him and his ex-wife, Noel, I guess they got in a fight or something, and I don't know if he threw her down on the ground or whatever. She said she couldn't move. I really don't know the particulars on it, but then he called 911 for an ambulance to come get her because she couldn't move. And then the operator on her asked him, because then I think she got up and, she got up and she took off, I think. And when she was in her car, they asked him if she had any weapons, and he said, I think she's got a gun. They pulled her over, and she did have one, and they arrested her. And that's a big no-no. I mean, I know another guy, after I left the club, he was a great, great member. He's been in the club forever. You see his picture in the dictionary under Hells Angels. That's how much I believe he was the man. And they kicked him out for making a 911 call because his wife was having a seizure, and all he did was call an ambulance. And they threw him out of the club.
You can't call an ambulance over a medical emergency?
No,
you're supposed to just let the person die?
Bro, if you get hit by a car and you're laying in the road dying and you get the license number, you couldn't even tell the cops the license number or who did it or anything like that. It's some of the rules are set way back in the 60s. It got to be changed,
Yeah, no, I mean, I have a regular guest on my show, Tony Yayo, who's like a street guy. He's down 50 Cent in G-Unit, and he was saying how his dad, I guess, was having a heart attack, and he just froze up because he couldn't bring himself to call 911. And luckily, there was another family member in the house that went and grabbed the phone, but he said he just didn't want to call 911, even over a medical emergency.
Right.
There's some of these things are so ingrained in you, like you don't call 911, you don't talk to the police on any level. And sometimes it's just nonsensical. It makes no logic whatsoever. I mean, you're not calling to report a crime. Your dad is dying.
Right, exactly.
And he's going to die unless you make this phone call, but yet you're hesitating. And it's just crazy.
And that's what happened with that guy. And, they came to get his wife, and she was dying. She was swallowing her tongue, and he was doing everything to stop it. And, man, they threw him out of the club, and they took everything he owned. And it's pretty sad because... when Sonny did it, really nothing really came about it, And that's when that came about, I was already in prison. When I guess they had a meeting or something about him calling 911, and I think they just swept it under the carpet.
Right. And, George Christie, who's been on my show before.
Right.
I guess there was a situation where Sonny Barger was given a photo of you and George Christie, and he ripped the photo in half?
No, it was a picture of him and George Christie.
Okay.
Yeah, a guy walked into the shop, Sonny's sitting there next to me, and he says, "Oh, my God, I was always wondering when you were going to be here. I took this picture like in the 80s, it was like 1987. And it was Sonny and George, and they had their arm around each other like this, and they were standing below that Sturgis sign that's up on the hill. Mm-hmm. And it was like an 8x10. And the guy goes, "Here, man, I've been holding on to this for you. I want you to have it." And he handed it to him. And Sonny grabbed it, and he looked at it, and he went, he ripped it in half, and he tore up the section with George and threw it in the garbage. He goes, "Thanks," and walked away. I went around the corner, and I said, "Hey, Chief, man, that was bullshit what you just did, man. That guy's right now thinking, what the hell what are these guys?" Mm-hmm. And that's perfect thing for the name of my book, a brotherhood thing. And, he got, "Oh, man, don't question what I do." And I'm questioning it because that was stupid. All he had to do was tell the guy, "Hey, thanks, I appreciate that." He could have went around the corner if he wanted to take a leak on it or tear it up or whatever he wanted to. But in front of the guy, it sends a message that, we're not really a brotherhood of guys, because now he's seen that George hates that. I mean, Sonny hates George,
What was the beef between Sonny Barger and George Christie?
I think it was My opinion on it was that because Sonny's wife at that time, Zorana, she used to be with George first.
Oh.
And then George like sent her off and 86'd her, and then Sonny dropped to 86 and married her.
It's always over a woman, isn't it?
Right.
When you look at most beef between men, if you dig deep enough,
isn't that crazy?
It's usually a woman at the bottom of that hole.
Yeah.